in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2176. Tonight we're talking about shining without permission. When we go against the grain. Oh, how many times are you waiting for somebody to tell you that you can shine? Just do it. That's all. Just do it. That's the whole message for tonight. Just do it. No, seriously, though, we will get back here. There comes a time when you stop waiting for someone to grant you permission to be bright. You realize your light doesn't need approval to, doesn't need approval to exist. It's already here, already worthy, already needed. So why are you not shining? Give yourself permission to do so. What it teaches is that true confidence comes from not being allowed, but from allowing yourself, giving yourself permission. Holding back your brilliance doesn't serve the world or your purpose. You can be both humble and bold. It's not arrogance to own your own light. It's alignment. Oh, I love it when that happens. What happens when you stop apologizing for what makes you stand out? What happens when you do that? When you stop apologizing for what makes you stand out, you just shine like you were born to do. You lead with authenticity, not approval seeking. You others feel inspired to let their own light shine. You walk into rooms already knowing you belong. How many times have you kind of like crept and going to a networking event or going to an event where there's going to be some networking and you kind of just like sidle in, go to the registration desk, give your name, get your name tag and put your name tag on and kind of just sidle into the room and you go and stand in a corner and just watch everybody else. And what happens? Nothing. You just stay there in that corner, not talking to it. You know, some people might walk past and go, hello, and you go, hi. No, walk into the room like you already knowing you belong. Let your light shine. Let it shine bright. Walk it. I remember the first time I haven't spoken to my friend Molly for a while, but I remember the first time I ever met Molly. We were all sitting in this meeting room waiting for everybody to arrive. All these speakers were coming in, and we're waiting for everybody to arrive. And I'm busy. I was talking with Adrienne, and she was the organizer of this event. And so I'm sitting there talking with her, and all of a sudden I stopped, and I just turned and looked at the door. There was no sound coming from the hallway. There was a presence approaching the door. The light was coming before this person. And I just turned, looked at the door, and all of a sudden this woman was there, and she goes, I have arrived. And immediately I went in my head, I need to know her. That was all she said. And then she walks in, everybody's going, oh, hi, Mom. I finally got to introduce her, and we've been great friends ever since. Her presence was felt before she walked into the room, because she walked into the room knowing that she belonged. So why are you don't have to stand in the doorway and announce yourself. You just need to turn your light on, let it shine bright, and walk on in there with your confidence, being authentic, and know that you belong in that room. And if you heard the story last night about the supermarket shopping and turning your light off and turning your light on, it's the same principle. If you walk into a networking event and you're going, I really don't want to go to a networking event. I really don't want to network. You covered up your light. And you walk in there and nobody will take any notice of you. And you get out and you go, oh, that was so depressing. Nobody talked to me. Oh, I was supposed to meet these people and they weren't there, or they were there and I didn't get to talk to them. Compared to walking into the room and just walking in like you belong. Shoulders back, head up, and you just turn your light on, let it shine brightly, decide on who you are going to meet before you even walk in the door. You know the type of people you have, you know the type of the event and that, you know who the speakers are. Figure out before you walk in the door who you are going to talk to. You're going to walk in there with confidence because you need to talk to these people. These people are going to could have a major impact on your business. They could have a major impact in your life. You need to know them. So you walk in there knowing that you belong. You walk in there with intention. Your light is blazing brightly as you walk in. and people will feel you come into the room, because your light, your vibration is going in before you, and people will feel it. People will turn and look at the door before you even are standing in the door. It makes a big difference from, oh, I really don't want to be at a networking event, to I am here. But you know what I do? With networking events, when I'm going to an event, I know there's going to be networking, I get there early. Then I stand at the door and I welcome everybody as they come in the door. There was one event I went to, and I knew some of the people that were going to be there. I'm standing at the outside door before they even get to the check-in door, to the check-in desk. So they come past me, they go from out, and we're under this covered walkway. There's a path leading up. They come up to the door. They see me. I then direct them to the desk, to the registration desk inside, which you can walk in the door and you can see it. You don't need to give directions. Every single person, whether or not I knew them, got given a welcome hug. And if it was people that I knew, it was sort of like, oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. Give them a hug. They all know that those that knew me knew I was huggers. If they had people with them that I had not met, they then automatically turned around and go, oh, Helen, let me introduce you too. And they would introduce me to the people that were with them. They got hugs too and got welcomed and sent in. Just walk straight ahead there. You'll see the registration desk. It's right in front of you. Just go up there and they'll get you all sorted out and get you into the room. It's going to be a great day. People were standing in line waiting for their hugs. I love giving hugs. And if I can go to an event where I know most of the people, I will quite happily stand it. I will make myself the greeters. There won't be anybody who come and say, oh, you got to stop doing that. We can't have you standing there hugging people as they come in. No, that's just not, no, people won't tell, because I am there. I am being authentic. I have my light shining brightly. I am welcoming people in with love and understanding. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what color your skins are. I don't care who you are. You get a hug from me as a welcome. And it was just really cool, because a lot of the people coming in there were coming with people who I knew. And so I was getting introduced to everybody that was there. There was some people that came up who I had no clue who they were. They were coming in by themselves. And I go, oh, good afternoon. I'm Helen, I'm Helen Brahms, and welcome to the event. And who are you? And they tell me that. And I said, may I give you a hug? And I give them a hug. And I says, welcome. Just walk on in there and they'll sort you out at the desk in there. I got to meet every single person at that event. There was like 150 people at that event, and I got to hug every single one of them. Do you think that my love tank was full that day? Oh my gosh, my tank of hugs was overflowing. It was an amazing feeling. It was just an amazing event. It was a great event. Had a great time there. Got to talk to some of the people who I had never met, who I met at the door, giving them hugs. I got to talk with those people that I knew. It was a great event, and I just loved the networking side of it. It was awesome. And it's one of those events that will stick in my head for a long time, because I was there as my authentic self, and I made everybody in that room feel welcome. So it was just, I have lots of warm fuzzies about that event. How we carry forward is we practice showing up fully without shrinking or explaining. We just stand in the door. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. There are times I get put in front of people and I feel like they're out of my league, but I need to talk to them anyway. And so I'm just standing there in my truth with who I am. And was my voice shaking like crazy? You bet. You bet. There are times that I will be standing there talking to this person, and the nerves are coming out through my voice. But I am standing there in my authenticity with my light shining. I am speaking the truth. I am showing up. I am letting my presence be the permission others were waiting for. Shine anyway, especially when it feels risky. If you're in a room full of people that are your ideal clients, are you going to go stand in the corner, or are you just going to suck it up, turn your light on, stand in your authenticity, stand in your truth, even if your voice is shaking, and go talk to these people? Think of people that you admire, their courage, their voice, their light. They didn't wait. Your boldness now becomes a beacon, a spark passed down, a reminder that shining is not a privilege. It is a responsibility. You have a responsibility to shine. Oh my gosh. one of my favorite things to do. When I have to be in the right frame of mind. I have to, if I'm going, there are times I'm like, I really don't want to go to this networking event. Nobody's going to talk to me. And I'm like, no, we have to stop this talk right now. And I have, we're going to this event. We are going to have a great time. We're going to meet the people we need to meet. Our light is going to shine. And we're going to have an awesome time. And I would tell you, the meetings that you really don't want to go to are the ones that have the biggest impact on you. And you have to change your mindset before you get to the door, before you get in the door. The first time I went on a cruise after Brad passed, he passed in September of 2017. I went on my first cruise in May of 2018. It was just a 7-night Alaskan cruise out of Vancouver and into Seattle. It was a repositioning cruise for the ship because they'd just come from Australia through the Pacific Islands up to Vancouver, and then they're doing the 7-night package, 7-night trip, and then ending it in Seattle, and then the ship would be going in and out of Seattle for the Alaskan season. And I was sort of like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh, well, okay, well, how many people does the ship hold? So I looked up how many people the ship hold and how many crew do they have? Okay, so I had about 4,500 people on the ship, maybe closer to 5 with the crew and everybody. But I figured that, I was going to make a good dent. I think it was like 3,300 passengers that ship held. So I was determined, my goal that whole week on the cruise was to meet as many of the 3,300 people that were on that ship as possible. Yeah, we had a very rocky start, but once we got over that, we were off and running, and we had a great week. Yes, but that's a story for another day. But I let my light shine brightly. He's on my desk. I have my mascot, Casey Key, with me. He was always sitting here as we would walk around. I would tell you this, more crew members knew Casey Kiwi by the end of the week than passengers knew. My friend here, Casey Kiwi, had more crew members that were his friends than passengers. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. And as I'm walking around, the staff, the crew, they were so funny. They were going, oh, there's the Kiwi. That's the Kiwi I was telling you about. There's the Kiwi. And they'd call me over and they go, look, this is the Kiwi. And so I'd hand it to the crew member and get pictures of them I've got more pictures of crew members with my Kiwi than the Kiwi had, than passengers. Where is your little necklace gone? There was a little charm bracelet that I got for Casey Kiwi, and he wore that on formal nights, and it had a little cruise ship on it. It was really cute. But he was my talking thing. He helped break the ice for me that week to meet people. When we'd sit down at the table, because every night I would choose the anytime dining portion where I could go anytime when the dining room was open, and I would request to be sat at a table with other people. I wanted to sit at a 10-person table. And so that was my thing. And when I got there, I sat Casey Kiwi down and said hello to everybody, and we introduced ourselves and all that, and Casey Kiwi would be my icebreaker. If you need to have a prop like that with you to help break the ice, nobody's going to flinch at you or anything else. But like I said, Casey Kiwi knew more crew members by the end of that cruise than he knew passengers. But you know what? It didn't matter. After my initial meltdown, I had a great week on that cruise. It was awesome. So your reflection questions for tonight, we've got 4 of them to go in your your porch light reflection journal to go in here. You okay there, Ziffy girl? You wanting to go? She wants scratches. She's got her butt packed up against me. Thankfully, she can't. When she wags the tail, it's not going to hit my leg until she moves. On this side, you got porch light notes where you can do free writing, and on the side, you've got a prompt. What's the prompt on this one? What part of your daily routine feels sacred, even if no one else notices it? Some good questions. Hey, sweetie girl. We've got the butt end. We've got the tail hitting my leg so she can get her butt scratches. Hey, sweetie girl. I think the calcium blah, blah, blah that's down there, it's we get a lot of it coming off. I think me giving her butt rubs is how, well, I actually give her lower back rubs. It helps get rid of that calcium blah, blah, blah thing that's there. Because it's reducing in size, isn't it? Or somebody just wants attention. You want to come say hi before we give them their questions? Come here. Come here. I'm going to put you. We've got the head down on the floor and the butt in the air. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go. You come up and say hi. Go, hello, everybody. Yeah. Good girl. Oh, it's looking so good back here. Her fur is starting to grow back in on the area that got shaved across the back here. There you go. Okay. Go get some water and something to eat, and I'll be with you in a minute or two, okay? I got a dog for my mouth. That's okay. All right. So here are your questions for this evening. Oh, come here, sweet girl. There you go. Where have you been waiting for permission to shine? Where have you been waiting for permission to shine? What parts of you are ready to be seen more fully? How can you honor your brilliance without dimming for others? Don't let others dim your light. Shine bright no matter what. What would it look like to show up unapologetically this week? And our closing thought for the week is shine like it's your birthright, because it is. No one owns the sun. No one needs to grant you the right to glow. Just shine without permission. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific.